Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Today we're going to meet a candidate running for office for Jasper City Council, and that is Nancy Eckerle. Nancy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill.
Now, you've been here before wearing the hat of the chamber
Yes.
director, and we do want to note that you are running for an at-large seat on the
Yes.
Jasper City Council. You are currently on the Jasper City Council.
Correct.
Along with that at-large seat with Phil Mundy.
Yes.
But you both are running unopposed because there's two open seats.
There's two at-large seats.
But we do want folks to know you still should go out and vote because there are, in certain districts, some really important elections.
Yes, absolutely. Everyone should come out and vote, whether I'm unopposed or not. There are other people who are opposed, and we definitely want people to take their right to vote as an American citizen and get out to the polls and get voting. It's important.
Well, let's find out who is Nancy Eckerle. First of all, tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, I am a Jasper native. I've lived here my whole life. I've worked at the chamber over 30 years, and I just love that job. And it really ties in nicely with my job on the council because then I can truly know just about everything that's going on in the community. And, you know, we get a lot of calls at the chamber also about things, maybe certain ordinances or things. And so we know then where to make those referrals to or can even have a conversation about that. But I'm married to Gil Eckerle. My parents were Ed and Dorothy Huffman, and people mostly know my mom as being the bookmobile lady, and that's been a few years back. But anyway, they were wonderful parents and set good examples. We have 3 adult children, Corey, Andy, and John, and so, you know, they all have their lives that they live also, and we have 2 grandchildren. It's a good life, and we're very happy. Also involved in things within the community. So, you know, I like to become very involved in things that affect our community. I'm very involved in the Strassenfest committee. I volunteer at Freedom Reigns, also the therapeutic horse riding program. And I just like to do things like pull weeds downtown, water plants on the bridge. I'm involved in Patoka 2000. Some things are work related for me, but I think if I wasn't working, I would still be involved in some of those nonprofit organizations as a way to give back and make the community a very great place for people to live.
Well, you're very busy in the community. What would possess you to run for re-election? What possesses you to take a political office?
Well, Bill, I just really love being on the city council. It is a way really to be effective, and I am one vote and only one vote on the council. But I am not just a council member who just shows up for the meetings. I am a council member who studies the issues. I study the agenda. I really dig deep into what we're going to be talking about at the council meetings. I more or less, what you might say, do my homework before the meetings. We pass a lot of ordinances throughout the year that are very lengthy in detail, and I ask a lot of questions at the council meetings. I'm not one to just rubber stamp things and just let the meeting go on. When some of the other council members are kind of ready for the meeting to be over, I usually have 3 or 4 more questions or more topics or issues that I want to discuss because I think that's very important. But I do take a lot of time to really study the agenda, study the issues, and ask questions not only at the meeting but before the meeting to make sure that I'm educated and know what's going on. You know, during the council meetings. The council meetings don't really last that long, but for me, it's more about preparation prior to the council meeting than what happens just during the council meeting.
Well, that sounds like a really important quality to bring to the office. So what my next question for all candidates is, what qualifies you or what you for the office, or what qualities do you bring to the office? Well,
I'm very organized and kind of detail-oriented, and so I like to make sure that everything is in order and that I understand everything, and that I also study and research things. I am also good at getting people to the table for a cause. So many times during the year, constituents, you might say, call me about issues. So, you know, I don't have all the answers to what their problems or their concerns are, but I get people to the table. And not too long ago, someone had an issue about something going on, and so I called a meeting, and we had the police chief there, the fire chief there, the code enforcement officer, same thing as the fire chief. You know, we invited the mayor to attend, and so we talk about things that people are concerned about at their time. So, it's not always between, let's say, 8 and 4 or whatever. We had that meeting at 5 or 5:30 of an evening because you have to meet when people are available to meet. So I'm very good at addressing people's concerns. There was another lady who was concerned about public transportation. I went to her house. We sat on her front porch and we had a very nice conversation. So there's a lot of things people call about that are never even covered or talked about at the meetings, but they are talked about in planning sessions. And so I wanted to bring that up also. The city did just recently pass this large document. It is the city's comprehensive plan, which will lead us through the next about 10 years. And so was part of the planning group for this. We had many 3 to 4 hour meetings, meeting with the consultant who worked up this plan. And so, this covers things about the economy, community, the legacy, the livability, many areas, the utilities, and all those type of things that go on in our community. So this is a very good document. I want to continue to be involved in things that involve the comprehensive plan, because that's what will actually move us forward and get us to check off all the boxes over the next 10 years.
Jasper has a lot of things going on, as a lot of towns do.
Yeah.
What are you're currently on the city council? What are issues that maybe you're dealing with now, or what are some issues in the future, and how would you address those for Jasper?
Well, I want to say that Jasper is not just a community where we're building walking paths. We're much more than that. We are building walking paths. Some people are opposed to those. Some people love those. That's neither here nor there. They're being built and they're in the completing stages right now. But we have a lot of other serious issues. We have aging sewer lines. We have aging water lines. Our streets and roads are in really good condition, except for where they were dug up during the middle of town. But those are going to get paved next year. But we have some issues on the north side of Jasper that really concern me, and they're concerning about the water and the sewer lines, and I want to make sure that we address those. I want to make sure that people get their needs and their areas of concern addressed. We have the library building that will no longer be there in a few years. I want to make sure that library building, that something happens either with the building or the piece of property or whatever. I also meet with every department head at least once a year. And I don't know that the other council members do that. I'm just saying that I do that because I feel it's important, especially when we come to budget time, that I know what's going on in all those departments. So I meet with every department head. Sometimes they bring their assistant in, and we talk about the departments, what their needs are, what their wants are, what their 5 and 10-year plans are into the future, so that when we're working on the budget, I know what they're talking about, and I can help at least think out, okay, now they're requesting this truck or piece of equipment or land purchase or whatever. How does that really fit into their 5 and 10-year plans into the future?
Really, every decision you make on the city council, there are so many different factors that play into that, and you find them all out.
That's right. I try to take the time to do that. I've proved to be an experienced, a reliable, and a respected leader for Jasper, and will continue to have those same traits and bring those forth during the next 4 years.
Now, we'll give you this opportunity to give any final thoughts that you have about the election and voting for you.
Well, I believe that people that live in Jasper love to live in Jasper. And my goal is to assure that people continue to love to live in Jasper, that they feel confident that they can come to me or any other council members to talk about their concerns. I think we need to continue to look at our infrastructure, our roads, our sewers, our water, all of our utilities, and also our parks and everything else that involves around the whole city. So it all ties in together. We just need to keep our thumb on everything and make sure that our finances are able to carry us into the future.
Nancy Eckerle, thank you for being our guest.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate being here.
Nancy Eckerle is running for Jasper City Council at large, so no matter what district you're in, you'll have the opportunity to vote for Nancy. Thank you, and thank you for your service to the community.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you for watching 18 WJTS. We are local people watching local people.